Welcome back, everybody. We are back for another episode of the Marketplace Mavericks, where three over the hill guys talk about their experience on Amazon. We're at it again, guys.
Here we
How's
are.
everyone doing?
How many
Week
weeks are we
15.
into this thing now?
Week 15.
Are we week
Week
15? Well, they
15.
say the average podcast is like 3 weeks, and we're still going strong 15
Hey,
weeks
come
in.
on. That's
Closing in
pretty
on
good.
4 months.
15
Is
weeks in. That's great.
that right?
Yeah, so we kind of thought we'd give everybody a little bit of an update of us three this week. And then if we have a little bit of time after that, we'll have a little talk about maybe Chat GBT and how that's really fits just so perfectly into Amazon and how much it can help. Um, Definitely us over the hill guys who some of us don't have fantastic computer skills. So, but
I,
yeah, why don't
I
we?
I I resist that statement, John. I think some over the hill guys, like maybe John, I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe,
No,
maybe
ChatGPT
me.
is a phenomenal tool, and I can't wait to get into some of it because it is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's great. So, but yeah, so like Pete, what are you doing? I hear you're not a 9 to 5er anymore.
Yep. I involuntarily no longer have a 9 to 5, so I'm 100% just focused on Amazon, which may be a good thing. Maybe reduces the stress a little bit related to sort of juggling the two. So it'll be a different experience for me, but nonetheless, I feel like that I'm now what, almost 7 months into this, and so I feel like I have enough of a background in Amazon now to kind of have an idea of what I'm doing. And I feel like I can take it to the next level now that I don't have a 9 to 5 to also juggle along with it. So I am in the process of, still doing OA, still doing RA, still learning web scraping. And I'm also now into wholesale. So I actually met with a client this morning, really nice people, who have a product that I'm going to help start selling. And it's an exclusive deal. So I'm really excited about it. I don't have to really compete with any other sellers, and I'm looking forward to it. But again, this is sort of, going into a territory that I'm not really too familiar with, but I'm really excited about learning very quickly. And because it's only one account, I can just put my 100% attention onto it, and I have a really good feeling about this. So
Get paid to learn.
absolutely. And I even told them during the call today when we met to talk about, what's expected. Um, I spoke to them about my network. So again, it goes back to relationships, right? So I explained to them, I have this huge network of sellers that I can rely on to sort of help us, bring this product and start, getting more velocity behind it, and just start doing advertising. And anytime we run into any kind of bumps in the road, the network is something that I can rely on to help solve any, challenges, or help look for advice. And they're excited about it, and so am I. And so I see a lot of good things ahead.
As a new person in that space, Pete, are they confident? Are they comfortable with them having no knowledge of this, just relying solely on you to be able to get that product out there, whether it's through the PCPs or whether it's through the network that you're talking about? Are they just allowing you just to handle that? And if so, what does that look like?
Yeah, so the great thing about them is they already have a listing up that has a lot of really good A+ content. They've also had other people that know a little bit about Amazon to help them, construct the listing, and make sure it has a lot of the major components like reviews on there, and a lot of really detailed descriptions of the product. So I almost feel like that I've got a
The
really
nuts
good
and
head
bolts are
start.
there, it sounds like.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff is already there. All I have to do is just buy the product and start advertising it and just sort of get the ball rolling. And so it's almost like, for somebody who is fairly new into wholesale, it's almost like this couldn't be the more perfect opportunity to sort of jump in there and not necessarily have to struggle as much as somebody who doesn't have a listing, and somebody who doesn't have any sort of content that they have to try to put together. So I feel very fortunate in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I looked at the listing and like the listing
Mhm.
looks great.
Yeah.
Listing looks great. It's got everything you need. Like there really wasn't anything to do with it. It just goes to show how powerful advertising on Amazon. And I think anybody starting off, your first 3, 4 months, you don't even think about PPC or advertising. And like you shouldn't because you got enough of other things to think about.
Right.
But as you move on, especially wholesale, the getting crafty with the coupons to PPC to all of that stuff, it can be so powerful. Or you can just flush money down the toilet. Like
Yeah.
and there's a fine line in between. Because that's part of something I'm kind of diving into, and it's hard. And like the best thing you can do is you start playing around with your own listings. And like I tried like a couple PPC ads the past 2 weeks on some of my stuff. And the good part is they were cheap. They were actually $0 because whatever I did didn't work. And nobody clicked on it. Uh, or there was not, I got no clicks, no nothing. So like I did them for like a week and I went on and looked and I haven't gone back in to see. I think what I'm going to do is download the inventory, download the PPC ad and give it to ChatGPT and say, what did I do wrong?
Hey, that's very interesting.
Yeah,
And it'll be
because
very interesting to see the feedback that you get on
yeah,
that.
because obviously I'm doing something wrong.
And that's
Uh,
okay.
yeah, and
But
the good part is that I didn't spend any money doing it. But I know after 3 days I went over and looked and I was like, huh, zero impressions, zero clicks, $0 spent. I'm like, it's active, but
but what's wrong?
what's wrong? So I
Yeah.
got to figure out what's wrong.
So
Uh,
Pete, you mentioned you're out of the 9 to 5 thing, and you said you want to take it to the next level. What does that look like? What are your steps? What is your goal? Where are you headed with all that? I know you mentioned some wholesale, but like where are you going with all that? What's your next steps?
Yeah, I honestly, Blake, I don't have that really, planned out. I feel like I'm just in a place where I'm like, I have so many different things going on
Hmm.
that I need to figure out. I need to like figure out which one I'm gonna really focus in on, and I feel like it's the wholesale opportunity because I feel like it doesn't that's almost like a needle in a haystack, or very fortunate to have myself in that position to even have an opportunity like that, and so.
And is that a
I'm going to
private
put
label?
together a timeline. Um, what's that?
Is that a private label item?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah. I think it's so important in Amazon. I think in your first 3 or 4 months to learn about yourself to what your strengths are.
Hmm.
Um, and OA, I used to say, well, OA, you can't scale. Like I am in some online groups with Miles, with these dudes, Ian, who we had on uh, a month or so ago. Ian is going to do close to 150 to 200K Q4 a month in OA. Like it is crazy. And I listen to him talk and say, like, oh, I have 6 different Kohl's accounts to spread out the Kohl's cash. I have this. I have so much to buy. He has hired a purchaser that all they do all day long is purchase, 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 purchase over and over again, loop coupons. And he can't hire enough people to purchase enough things to be doing. Like it's incredible. So there's not like you can't do it, but obviously Ian's a smart guy, but he's a smart guy in that sort of way. So
Mhm.
he is really excel and he's doing it in close, but his ROIs are 75, 80%.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
he can, yeah. So that is something I learned really quick for any of you guys that are starting out doing close. And you find that the returns, like how I did, the returns just destroyed me. I, in order to do close at a high level and make money, you have to have huge ROIs to be able to take on the returns and resell them, still make money. Because a lot of times he can resell a return 2 or 3 times and still come out on top at the end. Now, I think when it all washes out and it's all fine, that massive margin that he starts with when he's buying is much smaller and probably closer to like, what a wholesaler is or what the when it finally comes down to that. But it is but that's his personality. That's what fits him. He likes having those six Kohl's accounts. I can't imagine how many email accounts he has. And
Mm.
then to keep that all organized, you have to have a lot of VAs. It's like a little army of sourcing. Uh, and he's probably going to websites we don't even know about. He's doing all that, but he likes it. He likes that grind. He likes that challenge. Me, I don't. The clothes are cool to learn and everything and learn how to source. I know flat out, I'm like, that's not me.
Yeah.
What I'm doing with Brand Direct, that's me. Like, I've made friends, and Blake, this would definitely be on, up your alley. Like, each person I talk to, those office ladies and those office managers, I am talking to, I am joking around with, I am calling.
Relationship, baby.
Yeah, calling twice a day. Like, how's your Monday going? Like, hey, I'm checking on this order. Like, and they'll say, "Oh, I've been so swamped." I'm like, I know it is that, and like that's me. And like that would definitely be you too, Pete. I
Yep,
think you're in the
100%.
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the middle with that. But yeah, like that's where and they make sure. And like I bought some stuff. That was a kind of tobacco product, but no nicotine, and it was coming from California. And there was just a lot of headache shipping it to Massachusetts, or there was just a lot of like, and that
Logistics.
saleswoman went to bat for me and like kept on talking to the bosses, like, no, you can do this. It's fine. That's not nicotine. Like, you can ship this to him. And like, I ended up having to go pick it up at a UPS store and like, but she was like, "Hey, listen, we're gonna like figure this out. So your next order, we can send it right to your prep center." And I opened it right up because I was so comfortable with her. I was like, "Yeah," I was like, "What are you guys doing with all your online and your Amazon stuff?" Because this is out of all the stuff they had, this brand that they had was really the only thing they could sell on Amazon. Everything else had some sort of nicotine or tobacco in it. And I was like, I do this on Amazon. She's like, oh, she's like, well, I was like, you know what? Let's get this like sent into, I'll get this sent into Amazon and start selling. She's like, I can probably put you in touch with, one of the bosses so you can actually talk to them. And it's like, that's what it's all
Okay.
about. Whether it works out, who knows? But like, that's my strong point. So I know what I'm going into now. I've been able to tell in the past month. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. This is for me.
Mhm.
This is more my speed. So yeah, I think
So
that's a
John,
big thing with Amazon.
yeah, John, you kind of, I think, talked a little bit about where you're at right now, kind of with your stuff right now. What else is going on in your world with in terms of the Amazon space? What's new? What's where
I'm
you
still doing the OA, but it is going to phase out, I think, sooner rather than later.
you think this year you'll be done with it? That's the
Yeah,
plan,
if
probably.
not soon. Yeah, I'm doing the OA. My VA does most of the sourcing for me, but I've become very picky on what I'm buying in OA. Um, Fast moving stuff, almost treating my OA like wholesale. I don't I don't mind reading the keep it charts, but I don't want all kinds of variations, so the monthly sales are off.
Yeah.
Um, the stuff that
So when
me
you're doing sourcing, you're not looking for things with variations at all.
no, no, just don't want to
But
deal
that's
with it.
something that when you're in the beginning phases, and I'm sure
You
there's a
have
lot of
to.
people that listen. Yeah, that's where you have to start. You got to figure that out. You need to learn the ropes and all that. Am I right?
Yeah. And but now I'm starting to really see, this month is when I'm going to push 50K a month. And I'm consistently over $1,000 a day now, almost all the
That's
time.
awesome, John.
So, and I'm starting to see now I'm starting to, really look at what has returns, what doesn't have returns. How can I get my margins up a little bit, playing with my repricer. And more than anything else, like I'm starting to go into the mode of, hey, how can I flip money faster? Because you'll find when you first started doing wholesale, you got to pay for everything up front. But start putting a couple orders, you can start getting those net 30s. Those net 30s, I can tell they're huge. And then you have to start budgeting like, hey, all this is great. I've opened 11 or 12 brand direct accounts, and 30% of them I probably won't reorder, but definitely 50% I am. So now I have to start budgeting like, oh, I need to do replens every month, and then I need to find new stuff. So it really starts coming into working out a budget. What are you playing with? What credit lines do you want to pull? Because the credit cards are fine, but you're never going to get
So,
never going to get
John,
it.
just a question for anybody that might be listening that's wholesale or considering wholesale. When you say you're replenting, are you replenting once a month? Are you replenting more than once a month?
So it's almost quicker with the first order putting a test order in. Sometimes you have to put a larger test order than you want to because some brands will say like, "Hey, you got to buy this much," or you need to buy a certain amount to get to their
A
tier
certain number.
pricing where there's enough of a discount. So that can be, so sometimes I have to buy more. And something I'm definitely learning now is when do you replan?
Hmm.
Like at what point so you don't run out? And I think that's something I'm just going to learn because there's been some stuff where I've replanned, but it sells out. So there is a gap between it selling out and me getting the new order in. Or they may not have it in stock and stuff like that. So that's all the stuff I'm really learning now because you can really tell on selling. You start to really see the longer you're on something,
Hmm.
the more it sells. Like my grocery products that are fast movers, the first 3 weeks, and I was within like the buy box and all that, I wasn't getting much. And now all of a sudden, 3, 4 weeks in, now I am. Now it's like it's very consistent. Now I'm getting 10, 15 sales a day on everything when before I was getting one or two, not sell any for a day, get three. And it was like, why am I not getting it? And then like Amazon starts taking you seriously. And if you replen that and keep that in stock, you're going to get the buy box even more. So you start to see the power of uh,
Inventory, keeping inventory in stock.
keeping inventory, keeping larger inventory when you need it. Um, and and sometimes you still can't explain it. Sometimes you start selling it before it's even like fully checked in.
Mhm.
That's a little bit more of the OA stuff, but a lot of the wholesale stuff, you kind of got to wait a little bit and be patient, and then it just all of a sudden starts kicking in. And then usually like 3 weeks into it. So sometimes the replens are a little slow. Like there's a couple of things I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to replen that. 2 weeks later, I'm like, oh, I need to
I
replen that.
should have replened that. Yeah.
Now it's working. So like my timing is not good yet, but that'll come.
John, one of the things you mentioned over the last couple of weeks, maybe months, about having that $50,000 sales a month milestone. And that's where we would start being able to pay ourselves from those sales. And so I guess whenever you start hitting that $50,000 a month average sales milestone, I guess keep us up to date and let us know if that is, in
Yeah.
fact, what happens with that.
Yeah, and a
Yeah.
round of applause for John, man, hitting 50K, bro. That's
Well, don't
impressive.
applause yet.
Well, but
Right.
hey,
He's
you're
getting there.
you're closer than
We're
Pete and I
close.
are combined. So
Oh,
yeah, great
no,
job, man.
no, no question.
Yeah. I hopefully get there. Yeah. I mean, I think that, but then again, if I'm really trying to scale and do more, it might feel like there's cash flow, but I'm still going to be reinvesting it.
Sure.
That's been a question of mine the whole time through this whole process is when do I get paid? And I know you talked about it, like you said, when you hit that 50K mark or whatever the number might be. But I think that's all relative to your ROI, right? And it's all relative
Yeah.
to
I would also say
other metrics.
it's relative to what your goal is. So if you start wholesale and you say you get to 50 to 100K and you want to stay there, so you stay there and you just work your replens. You work what you have, work what you have. Your cash flow will start to actually, what I think your cash flow will start to go up because you're going to get much more consistent. You're not investing any more money, and the replens are going to become very consistent. You're going to be able to start opening net 30 accounts. So I think if you slow down, it would happen. Or If you're still looking to scale to 100,000 a month, 200,000 a month, then when it comes into, and I was kind of telling you guys a little bit about this before the podcast, it comes into what your credit lines are. And I think that's when I will start paying myself is I'll be in the process of taking $100 to a $200,000 credit line out. So if I'm at 80K or something like that, and I see, and I'm going to pay myself depending on how much I'm making. So if I'm making $10,000 a month, because I have those credit lines as a cushion, now I can start to pay myself if I want to, which I want to because I'm doing this to pay myself.
John, I think you're valued at more than $10,000 a month.
So that's what that would be when I would start. I think that will probably be how I do it is I will create the cushion enough for me where I know I have the cash flow. Because if not, when would you have cash flow? You're always
That's
going to want to be scaling. So it's like, no,
that
you're never
that's
going
been
to.
my question all along. At what
Yeah.
point you're always reinvesting that.
I think it's either you hit a plateau of like 75K a month and you stay there for a couple months and all of a sudden you're going to have really good inventory of stuff that's selling really well. You're going to know it really well. You're going to know how to replan it really well. And you're going to have that cash flow where you're going to be able to do it. Or if you want to keep on scaling, you're going to have to pull yourself a pretty large credit line. And that's where you're going to have the cushion of being able to pay yourself. And then you're going to know what you're making. So you're justifying paying yourself. I think that's what I've learned probably in the past month. Like, okay, that's how it's going to have to happen.
Okay.
Because I don't know where I want to stop. I know that I don't want to be some 20 million a year. I believe that at some point it starts to be too big.
Mhm.
And take your money and go do something else with it. Like for me, I would invest more in commercial real estate and I would use my Amazon for that. So I have in my head where I want to be. Um, I don't like, for me personally, having five VAs is not where I would want to be. I really like the idea of 2 to 3 full-time VAs that are like locked
Doing
in,
it. Mhm.
really good, get brand direct deals, get exclusives, and crank 200K a month. And it seems like a lot, but the more you're in this space, it really isn't.
Right.
It's not all that much. So that's where I feel like um, I would be comfortable in. Now, would I go over that? Sure, if all of a sudden you have a brand direct deal, I think that's where you would think about expanding. If one of the people you're buying from, you have a chance to be a brand direct with them, and that might push you to another 50K a month. And
Mhm.
that would be the reason why you would expand. You're not really looking for it, it comes to you.
It happens naturally, just kind of organically.
Right. You're not actually doing outreach. You're really just working what you have and then networking off of it. So it's much
Yeah.
more solid. So I think that's where, and then, you can think about your private label, or I don't even know if I would do that. I might be more of somebody where, let it run itself. But I'm still not there yet. And I'm not even close. But I'm closer than I was a month ago.
Which is you're closer than me and Pete.
Yeah, but
Slowly but
listen,
surely.
it happens fast.
It has happened very fast, and I think that's one of the things that I know Pete. I think Pete. I told him earlier, like he might beat me there because I'm in this. I'm still somewhat in a transition myself, where I'm going to be put where I'm at for a little bit longer than what I anticipated. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, but I'm not moving fast like I wanted to. But it's because of all the factors that I have surrounding my life right now. It's just not possible for me right now. But I do want to get exactly where John is and where Pete's heading to.
Mhm.
And I might get there in the time frame that I'm thinking I won't.
Yeah.
But it's just gonna be one of those deals. I gotta do what I can do when I can do it and how I can do it.
Yeah. I tell you what, there is no way on God's green earth that if I didn't use the internet and like the Miles online group and everybody else that I watch and the YouTubes that I watch and the networking we do and the stuff like we do, there's no way I would have made it. Not a chance.
Which is really crazy because I think I probably all three of us are in the same boat when Miles is like, you got to connect, you got to let your voice be heard, you got to this, you got to, and I'm sitting back like, no, I don't, no, I don't, no, I don't.
Yep.
And the truth is, yeah, you do, yeah, you do, yeah, you do. And it's like the squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of deal. I think it's a learning probably for anybody that's in our age range. Like, it's just been blood, sweat, and tears. Like you're just grinding and grinding. The hardest worker gets the best. Well, that's not always the case, and especially in this space.
Yeah.
In this space, it's relationship, and it's connecting with everybody who's in the space and who can help propel you to the next place. So it's a different world, especially for guys our age. Like we didn't have to do all this.
Yeah.
We didn't
Yeah.
have to do all this growing up. Like
Yeah.
this is a different space.
Yeah. I was in a call today and Ian was on it and he was just talking. Somebody got an IP complaint and like Ian just like broke it down. He's like, if it's from like this law firm, or this law firm, just ignore them. It's from this or this. You're gonna want to like contact them, but go ahead, just sell through. Don't be nervous and like stuff like that. Like
Just some confidence that it's
just
okay.
some confidence. Like, listen, I got
Otherwise, you feel like you got to shut down.
right, right. Like, and there are some things to freak out about. And
Sure.
like, and there's some things to like, hey, watch that, but like, don't worry, your account's not getting shut down tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, just like little stuff like that. If you don't know it ahead of time, like,
And that's where this network that Miles has put together with this school thing has paid dividends over, and not literal because I'm not getting paid yet, but it has paid off to be part of a school like this, a part of a network where you do have the resource of the Ians, of the other people in the space who can tell you, hey, this is okay. Like, don't fret the small things because what we think is big is actually relatively small.
yeah, yeah. And it's wild, but like, I'm having fun with it. But
Well,
honestly, if I
hopefully,
didn't use the online and talk to you guys and talk to other people, it would be really lonely.
I can understand, John. I can
Like,
understand, and we didn't get much into the Chat GPT thing, but does Chat GPT talk back to you? Do you like Chat GPT?
yeah,
Does she
yeah. I
like
think one
you,
of these,
John?
yeah, not today, but I think one of these episodes we're gonna do a Chat GBT episode. Because for us over the hill guys, I like, and I've said it before, the less you know about computers, the more you need Chat GBT.
Yeah, and I think it'd be awesome if there's a way for us to be able to actually do a live recording, like recording now, like we're doing, but watch that take place in real time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know if we can make it work like that, but I think that'd be very helpful and beneficial instead of just talking about it. Like, let's show it.
yeah,
Yeah, we can do a live. I mean, Miles and Corey and all them, they always have lives every Monday. And
yeah,
so we could do something like that, some very similar.
yeah. We can do that. I mean, look at us. Look at us. We are cutting edge.
We're
We
cutting
are
off.
just cutting edge here at the Marketplace Mavericks.
We are. And hey, speaking of Marketplace Mavericks, John, if somebody wants to reach us, they go where, John?
Oh, Marketplace Mavericks at gmail.com.
I'm glad
And
you
you can
nailed that.
email us some questions. If you just want to talk to us, you can talk to us. We all got the Instagram and the X. So you can find us on there. And make sure you like and subscribe to this. If you guys haven't noticed, we started putting out shorts. And let me
I'm
tell
not
you.
wearing shorts. Oh, you're talking. I'm just kidding. I understand what shorts are, just so everybody.
Yeah. Because we're a bunch of like cutting edge old guys. Just showing the young people how to do it. So, but I think that was a good kind of an update for everybody. I think next week we're going to try to have Omar back on. And
Omar
Omar,
the Gap King coming back.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Omar has just
Gap
been
King.
crushing it in his own
He's doing a lot of OA
online.
and RA stuff, man. That
Yeah,
dude
he's
is
just crushing it.
phenomenal.
So he is one of my favorite guests on here because he does such a good job at breaking everything down for us. So we're gonna kind of get an
And it
update
helps
from
when you
him.
like the guy. Like you just like the guy.
Yeah, he's not. If you don't like Omar, like you're probably not that nice of a person.
That's probably right.
Yeah.
That's probably right.
So, one of the most approachable guys you could ever meet.
And willing to help anyone.
Yeah, and that's the thing with this thing is like pay it forward because I help any sometimes Miles asks me to help somebody out or talk to somebody and that's in their first couple months and having a trouble with it or first couple weeks. And I'm like, just give him my number to have him text me
Yeah.
because I look at it, I was like, I'm still asking people like Ian and I'm asking people that are ahead of me. So I
Yeah.
feel bad. I want to make sure like I'm going to help the guy that's 2 weeks into this that doesn't know how to set up his keeper yet
Yeah.
because I'm still asking the other guy and it's good. It's good juju.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. If there's anybody who deserves the return on the investment, it's Omar. That
Yeah,
guy has helped countless people and he doesn't stop. Like he just wants to help somebody. And I'm one of these. I believe like what you give is going to come back. So
absolutely.
it's going to come back. And so I believe that Omar will be extraordinarily successful
Yeah.
because he's willing to help others and others are going to be willing to help him. And we're willing to do the same thing ourselves as well. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks everybody. We are going to wrap it up. This was another episode of the Marketplace Mavericks, and we will be back next week, and we're going to do it all over again. So everybody, keep on enjoying your summer, make some money, and we will catch you next week.
until then.
See you guys.
Peace.